Welcome again to Flipping into First Year, the podcast where we give you all the tools to prepare you for your first year here at UTSC and the Department of Management. I'm your host, Kelly Curran. Here at the Department of Management, I'm the coordinator of the First Year Learning Integration Program, better known as FLIP, and I'll be taking you through a little journey every 2 weeks, introducing you to a new UTSC service who will provide you with some resources, tips, and tricks to prepare you for a successful year. This is now our 4th episode. If you missed our first few episodes, please check them out via the link to our podcast folder on your bi-weekly Flip summer newsletter. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a key skill that you may not have expected, but that you'll definitely encounter and find yourself needing throughout your undergraduate experience and beyond. That's data literacy. Whether your career trajectory involves research or not, you may come across assignments that require you to develop and showcase your data literacy skills and your entrepreneurship skills. And that's where the UTSC Library and the Bridge really helps. Today, we're going to hear from the Management Liaison Librarian, Mariana Jardim, and the Bridge Supervisor, Chau, who will take us through some important resources and services for the young academics, researchers, and entrepreneurs entering the Department of Management. So to start us off, Bill and Mariana, can you please tell us a little more about the Bridge, you and your roles both at the UTSC Library and the Bridge?
All right. Hello, student. My name is Bill Chau. I am the supervisor at the Bridge, and here we have Mariana with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mariana Jardim, and I'm the liaison librarian for the Bridge.
All right. Let's talk about the Bridge. What is the Bridge? The Bridge is our management learning, teaching, and research center that covers different areas. And before I talk about the Bridge, I want to give you a little bit of background information and how we come up with the Bridge and how we created the Bridge. Before there is the Bridge, we used to have a finance and trading lab on the 3rd floor of the building. Finance trading lab is primarily for finance students who want to learn about the markets, the students who, or other management students who are interested in investing, finding out what are the latest stocks, talking to your colleagues and other faculty members about investing. They would gather in the lab, access different resources, and practice what they've learned in the classroom. Over the years, it has become a very popular place, I would say, in the management building. And we find that the model has been very successful in getting students interested in the subject, learning more about finance. So we decided to expand this to different areas within management, including accounting, marketing, operations, human resources, and entrepreneurship, etc. So we extended our mandate and we have expanded our footprint. Now we're on the ground floor, calling us the Bridge. And Mariana, I'll pass it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Bill. That was a great overview of what the Bridge is all about. So I just wanted to add a little bit about the connection with the UTSC Library. So the Bridge is a collaboration between the Department of Management and the UTSC Library. And I am a librarian and I work as part of the library. My areas of expertise include management and economics as a librarian. And I also teach entrepreneurship and co-op sessions for all of the UTSC campus. And in the library in particular, I collaborate with my colleagues, do all kinds of things, including creating new learning and innovative projects that impact not only management, but the whole campus, which is pretty cool.
So research is a word that we don't really always associate with management, but it actually plays a huge role in management. Can you talk to us a bit about that?
All right. My background is actually in finance, and I came from the financial industry before joining UTSC. And I can tell you, in finance, we do tons of research. Doesn't matter which area of finance you're in. I give you an example. Most students are interested in investing. And before you are investing your hard-earned money, how do you know which stock are you going to buy? You research. And another example, a lot of investment activities, depending on research as well, the decisions are made based on research. Whether a project is going to be profitable or not, you actually have to look at the market and try to research more and more market information to help you make that decision. So we in management deal with research a lot. So I think the bridge here is going to provide the necessary resources and the support for you in doing those research.
Yeah, and in addition to what Bill has described, we help management students do research in multiple other areas in addition to finance. So, for instance, from this regard, you might see me in, an organizational behavior class or economics class, also supporting students in a similar way as Bill described, but in those particular disciplines. So it's really broad, reaching across all the disciplinary areas of management. So, Bill, you talked about research and kind of the role that we play in supporting students. Do you think there's anything else students should know about research? So, for instance, around data literacy before they start university?
Definitely, Mariana. I think research is a skill set that can be acquired and mastered. Like I've mentioned a little earlier, we all do research, particularly when we are thinking about investing or not, or researching in a particular topic in organization behavior, or etc. Research involves many different aspects, and from let's look at the highest level. Where do we even begin? With all the resources, especially today, with all different kind of information that is available over the internet, where do we even begin? And can we tell if that resource is reliable or not? And I think that is a very important skill set to acquire while you're here as undergraduate students. And I think we have the people here to support you, particularly experts like Mariana from the library can guide us through different research techniques.
That's very helpful advice. Thank you folks so much for that. Let's now talk about some of the library services. So I understand the library offers really an array of research and citation guides, workshops, and even an old exam repository. Can you tell us more about each of those?
Absolutely. The Bridge and the library websites both have a range of useful resources for students. So, for instance, research guides, which are also known as LibGuides. Those are curated resources that specialists like Bill and I and our colleagues create for students. They help you learn about resources and search strategies and can be found on the Bridge and UTSC library websites. We also hold a variety of workshops throughout the year on topics like coding, data analytics, equity and diversity, and many other relevant topics, depending on what's going on, in the world of business at the time. And we run a very, very popular annual trading competition where students learn how to trade financial securities with each other on a real-time basis. And in addition to all of this, the UTSC library runs the annual research poster forum, which is an incredible opportunity for students to develop their presentation skills, as well as disseminate the research. So, you can base your submission on work that you've already done for your courses, which is amazing. You've already put the time in, so you might as well submit your work and have a chance to win incredible cash prizes and meet a bunch of interesting people along the way. And you mentioned the old exam repository, which is also a student favorite. Professors essentially give their final exams from previous years to the library for students to use as study aids. And then these can be found on our website as well.
And speaking of amazing resources, an even more amazing resource are the library liaisons. Can you talk to us about what the library liaisons do and how they can help?
Definitely. So think of the liaisons as a link between the departments and the library. So we provide expertise and support for teaching, learning, and research. Liaisons at UTSC, we work together to bring students, faculty, and researchers the best collections in research skills instruction to support assignments and all the academic work that takes place at the university, including work-integrated learning assignments. As a liaison, another way you can think of my role is that I function as a link between people and the information that they need. So that information that I help them access can come from various sources. So, for example, it might be a website, research from a journal, statistics, data, maps, and a bunch of other kinds of information. And Bill kind of alluded to this already, but it's also part of our role to teach students how to find all this information and then help them to evaluate it for quality. So it's not good enough to just find it. You have to really think critically about the type of information that you found and how good it is and evaluate it for yourself. With all of this, you may see me and my colleagues in your classes providing this kind of instruction so that you can find great quality information, which you can then use to write better assignments and just overall produce better work. And I just want to mention too that while you're seeing in your classes for this purpose, you might also find me running entrepreneurship and co-op sessions in management and across the broader UTSC community in support of all disciplines.
Now, the Bridge is definitely an interesting resource in space, and I know you spoke about it a bit. I understand that it's a collaboration between the UTSC Library and the Department of Management. Could you talk to us about what exactly the Bridge is and what the Bridge does?
So what is the Bridge? So I want you to consider the Bridge as an extension of the library, where the people, the equipment, and the resources at the Bridge are customized and specialized for management students. So this gives us an advantage in reaching out to you and really helping you and supporting you through your learning journey. That's what we are. We have specialized events, specialized programmings. Think of workshops or any kind of sessions that related to different management topics. We also have competitions with different mandates as well, like what Mariana has kind of pointed to earlier. We have training competitions and some research competitions as well. So that's what we are. We're here to support all management learning.
That's great. That paints a really clear picture. So let's talk entrepreneurship now. So I know the Bridge is a great resource for students interested in entrepreneurship. You have the New Venture program and the Entrepreneurship Research Training program. Can you talk to us about what each of these are and how students can get involved in them?
Yes, I'd be happy to. We provide training to budding entrepreneurs in various ways. We have research training workshops, online modules, and also we offer consultations to startups or really anyone with an entrepreneurial idea. So our consultations are open as part of the Bridge services. As for the New Venture program itself, it has a really rigorous structure that requires students to first submit a letter of intent describing their idea. Then they participate in an interview with Professor Bill McConkey. And they take certain prerequisite courses before they can be accepted into the New Venture program, or NVP for short. And then once they're in the program, the library supports students by providing consultations and research instruction, much like we do within the academic departments, except with a focus towards their entrepreneurship idea. So basically, we're there for every step of the way, leading up to a defense-style presentation of the business plan.
Thank you both so much for sharing this time with us and for teaching us a bit more about both the UTSC Library and the Bridge, two wonderful and extremely helpful resources. So is there any lasting message or piece of advice you'd like to relay to the first-year students listening before we wrap up?
Yes. So first-year students, I know it's very overwhelming with lots of information coming to campus for the first time. Take your time, soak it in. And the best thing for you to do is come visit us in person. Come talk to us. Make that physical connection. Ask any questions you have. There is no dumb question whatsoever. We are all here. Mariana, myself, and our colleagues are here to support your learning journey as much as we can. So come say hi, even if you don't have a question.
I absolutely agree. It's just so great to be in the space and to, kind of chat with your friends and to get to meet us in person. I think is really one of the best ways to get help. In the meantime, if we're not at that point when you start your education in September, we are available online, and we'd be happy to do a one-on-one consultation or just to chat with you, which I've been doing throughout the pandemic. Sometimes I just touch base with students just to see how they're doing. So we're definitely open to doing that as well. And my sort of piece of advice, my primary piece of advice, is to say that, don't just work hard, but work smart. Be strategic about how you approach your work. Our colleague and coordinator of the bridge, Stephanie Perpick, she has a really great rule when it comes to working together or just really approaching any aspect of your independent work. If something is bothering you for more than 15 minutes, reach out and get help. And I think that applies to student life too, especially as a first year. UTSC has a myriad of resources to support you. So please don't suffer alone when you don't understand something. Reach out to your TAs, reach out to your professors, to your academic advisor, and of course, as Bill said, come to the bridge. We really are a resource to you, the students, and we would be happy to help you in any way that we can. And just to close off, I just want to say that a lot of the services and supports we've mentioned today are described on 2 websites. So here are the links for those. The Bridge website can be found at www.utsc.utoronto.ca/thebridge. And the library website can be found at utsc.library.utoronto.ca. Hope to see you guys around.
So that's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. We want to again thank both Bill and Mariana for coming on to the show. And until next time, we wish our students a great week as you prepare to flip into your first year.